Everyone enjoys getting out on the town for some live music. And there's nothing like going backstage and down the hall for a VIP pass to the inside information and interviews with the bands, singers, and songwriters that you enjoy. Welcome to All Around Town Radio.
Working for the weekend, and I wanna see you. I flip on the blue face. Yeah, I know where to go. There's a man on there into the music scene, showing lots of love for the community with great advice. I know who I should go see. So all around town radio show is where I go for the latest band info.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the program on a Wednesday. It is Wednesday with the band, brought to you by the Bell and the Bear in Montgomery, Ohio. They're our sponsor of Wednesday now. It's great. Thank you, Karis, for sponsoring as well as being a co-host on Tuesday. Steve Stein in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Glenn checking in on the YouTube channel, and Tina from O'Connor's Irish Pub in the house. Good to have you with us as well. Hey, without any further, I've got a great band coming on today. We're going to have a lot of fun talking to these guys. Let's bring them in, and man, I'll get to it. I promise, for all of you waiting on the edge of your seat about how they got their band name. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes Side Piece. It's Side Piece in the house. I've got.
What's up?
Hello.
How are you, fellas?
Hey, we're great, man.
What's up? What's up?
All right, let's get right to this today, and we got the fellas in the house here. Introduce yourselves, if you will. Let's start with Chris down on the end there.
I'm Chris Vince. I play bass.
I'm Jason. I'm the lead singer, and sometimes I play guitar.
Pete Johnson, lead guitar and backup vocals.
And I'm Alex. I try to play the drums. Sometimes I play guitar or cajon if we're in a small room.
You play guitar and drums at the same time? Because I want to see that.
Yeah, not at the same time.
Not at the same time.
I usually
All
fill
right.
in on drums for him while he plays the guitar.
Yep. Yep.
Well, folks out there, a lot of people I've talked to love you guys. I've heard a lot of great things about you. But there's a lot of folks, too, that have never heard of Side Piece, but they love the name. So let's first of all talk about how long this band's been together, how long you guys been doing it, and then we'll get into the music and what you're playing.
Well, it kind of started with me and Alex, the drummer. We were in a different band together, and we kind of moved on to doing our own thing for a while. And he and I have been playing together for about 4.5, 5 years at this point. So as things progressed, we were playing a lot of little gigs where I'd play acoustic guitar and he was playing the cajon, and we were starting to pick up some popularity at a few clubs. And we said, we kind of need a bass player. If we're going to keep doing this, we're going to keep going. And my wife said, my friend's dad plays bass. And my immediate thought was, how old is your friend's dad? But turns out it was Mr. Chris Vince here. So he came along with us. And then almost 2 weeks to the day, we ended up with Pete. And that's kind of how we became what we are. And we're coming up on our 1 year anniversary as what you see here. So, we're pretty happy with where we're at.
We're at 9 months.
9 months. We could have had a baby.
9 months together. And you guys are getting some momentum. I mean, you're playing out there. We see I'm announcing your shows. You're playing quite a bit. So when you formed this thing, what did you decide the direction you were going to take with it? What did you want to do music-wise and all that?
Hits, all hits, shooting for top 40 stuff throughout the last probably 50 years.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of didn't want to pigeonhole ourselves too much into a genre. There's a lot of bands in Dayton. I mean, we're blessed to be part of a group of just phenomenal musicians all over the city. I mean, the talent level in Dayton is just immense, and we're lucky to be kind of piggybacking on a few of those bands. But they all do one thing very well, and we didn't want to compete. So we said, well, we're going to try and do what we feel like we like. So we started
everything pretty good.
Yeah. Well, it started out with, what can I sing? I got a really pretty good outlaw country voice. So that's where it started. And we started doing, some Tyler Childers and Chris Stapleton and that kind of stuff. And while that stuff is good when you're an acoustic guitar player in a cajon, when you're playing at a bigger club, people are kind of, that's sitting in the back beer drinking, and we wanted to get some dance going on. So we started evolving into that. And then, when we hired Pete, I mean, this dude's a library of every song for the last 50 years, what he can play. And we just kind of evolved from there. So, but
Pete, I'm glad you're a library, my friend.
Right on.
All right.
No
So
doubt.
give us some samples. You said Tyler Childers and some of that. Throw some samples of songs people are going to hear when they come out and hear Side Piece.
Frankly, we've kind of retired a lot of those songs. I mean, we used to play Feathered Onions by Tyler Childers, and we used to play that every now and then. But I mean, what you're going to hear a lot of is, AC/DC, like Shook Me All Night Long, Walk This Way by Aerosmith, Honky Tonk Woman by the Rolling Stones tends to be one of our trademark songs. So, a lot of the real good rock, Southern rock from, anywhere from the 70s to the 90s in that ballpark there is what we shoot for. We do have some country in there as well. We still play a few Stapleton songs, and
We've got some older rock and roll too that we'll do, like Hang On Sloopy and stuff like that.
Elvis
That's my
Presley.
preference.
Yeah.
we'll do some-
Dance music, tons of dance music.
Yeah.
8675309,
Centerfold, play that
Yeah.
funky music, white boy,
everything.
all those
basically.
kinds of songs.
All of it.
There you go. Listen, see, you said that you said play that funky music and things started dinging in the background. So we're good
Right
with
on.
that. So
Keep your
let me
hands
say hi to a
soft
couple
and
people here
warm.
real quick. Let me shout out to Gary. Thank you for being here. Gary Toy, thank you from Rockstar for being in the house. Jim Kilroy. Ditch, how are you, my friend? The boys from Ladder watching today. And of course, Steve from Mad Hatter says hey to Alex out there.
Steve
What's
Craig.
up,
And,
Steve?
Kara's in the house. Thank you for being here, Kara. And Quentin, also from Ladder. Thank you, Quentin, for stopping by today. So let me get to the real question here, and then we'll get back to some of the music. How in the hell did you name this band? We want to know. Inquiring minds want to know why you picked the name Side Piece.
Alex, you want to take that one?
I mean, I can feel
Uh-oh.
that. Jason, if I recall, came up with something else, and I'll let you tell that if you want to. But I was kind of.
We were originally going to be Whiskey Rebellion. We were originally
Yeah.
going to be Whiskey Rebellion. That was the plan
Right.
originally.
Right. And then I was like, dude, I was just rattling off names, and I was like, what about Side Piece? I was like, it's just enough smart ass that it fits us, you know what I mean? So, and
True.
Jason's like, he slept on it. I think he talked to Tori about it, and he came back to me.
Oh no, we lost him.
He came
now
back
he's
a few days
excited.
later, and he said, he's like, I think I like that. So I was like, okay, let's go with it.
Well, and I mean, like I said, Alex and I were in another band together, and it kind of fit the theme of what we were doing because we were kind of cheating on our last band.
Side
we
piece
were kind
of the
of
other band.
we were kind of going off and doing our own thing, so we were the side piece of the other band. And
Right.
honestly,
Stuck.
the logo happened just kind of on a whim, and I mean, frankly,
Mhm.
from a marketing perspective, it just writes itself.
It
I
is.
mean,
It's hilarious.
Right.
it's beautiful. So we get
Man.
a lot of attention just from the name.
I was envisioning, and I'm going to tell you what I envisioned about this whole Side Piece thing as I heard about it was that, there was this girl who happened to be with one of you guys who burned the band's van down to the ground or something like that. I had this great
but hey,
story in my mind, thinking
No.
that was going to be it.
Unfortunately, it's a lot more tame than that, I think. But
That's all right. It's a good story. It's good. And I love the name. It is catchy. I mean, there's some really good band names out there. I announced one called Grocery Store Vodka. I think that's awesome. What is
love
that?
those guys.
Is that a
Nice.
pick?
They're good guys.
Is that a pick?
A dick
Yeah,
pic,
it's
man.
a dick pic.
Where is Karis when we need her?
It writes itself, man. I tell you, this
Side
stuff
piece
just.
dick pics. If you come to one of our shows, you're likely to get one.
Oh
I
my
remember
God.
Jason
And
almost
I'm
got
Captain
beat up
Peter
one
Dick
time
Johnson.
trying to get one of those away.
Family
know-
show, guys, family show.
My platform has gone to hell. It has. It has taken the jet straight there, I think, but it's all right. And we are in the prison cell today with the background, so that should work for
Right.
all of us. Let me segue into the Alex keeps fading in and out, so hopefully he'll stay with us here. We'll get him back in a minute. But Alex, you keep cutting in and out there. So tell
Yeah, I
that
don't know.
dozer or whatever that just went by you not to do that again.
Right.
All right. So Chris, Pete, Jason, and Alex all make up Side Piece. And how would you describe your musical style? If you had to describe it in a few words, like to advertise it, how would you describe it?
Stew. It's just
I would say
a
a party
jambalaya of everything, every kind of music.
Yeah.
I feel like we think, I don't think any one of us particularly thinks we're the best at our craft when it comes to the instruments we play. I feel like a lot of us, I feel like our thought process behind doing anything is to be entertainers. I think that we want to entertain the audience. We
First
put
and foremost.
we put a lot of effort into putting on a great stage show, put a lot of effort into getting audience involvement. I mean, somebody's got to get one of our picks. Come to
Toy,
Side Piece show.
Toy from
Come to Side
Rockstar.
Piece show.
I'm with him too. I want one of those picks too. Next time I'm coming to a show, I'm getting one.
God,
Hey, Alex, we're out. Can you order some more?
yeah, I can get some more. I still have some. I can get them to you.
But
I got some.
and we really feel like that's kind of important. I mean, we always play Honky Tonk Woman, and I bring somebody up and teach them how to play the cowbell, and they play on stage with us. And that's just kind of what
Dayton
we
area.
do. So what we're trying to do is really just get back to that old type of pre-COVID when we're out at a bar hanging out. We want to have a good time. The band's playing. Hey, they're a B plus band. Okay, whatever. We're an A plus, but let's just say we're a B plus. And but we're getting them involved, and that's really what we try and do. And we want to see people having a good time. We want to see people cutting loose and having fun. And we try to engineer our sound to that. We don't take too much pride in what we play per se. If it works,
He's
it
lost
works.
his mind. We're a decent band with a killer list
There you go. That's the best way to say it.
and entertaining as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, that's a great term because I was listening to an interview the other day with Brett Michaels, and he's doing a big tour this year, and he's calling it Killer with No Filler. All killer
Exactly.
songs with no filler,
All
man.
killer,
I thought
no
that was a
filler.
great deal. So
Absolutely.
let me talk about this for a minute then. You guys with this musical style of pretty much a hodgepodge. Somebody's got their volume up a little too loud. If you can turn it down on your device. I think it's Alex. Alex is the problem child.
He
Like,
is.
He
Yeah.
really
Yes.
is the problem child.
Yes.
My bad.
So again, as I was saying, we're getting a lot of kickback here from somebody. I can find out who it is. Hang on. I'll find out who it is right about now. Let's see. Nope, it's not Alex. It's somebody else. Sorry, Alex.
Look at that.
Yeah, Alex is all right. Now, let me see. Now I'm not hearing it now. So yeah, it's on the three of you's side there, but it's going away now. It's going away. I think we're all right.
Okay.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the individual members here and how you've developed this hodgepodge, as you say, jambalaya of music. Where did you guys get your start playing music? And I think Pete, you said, has been around since dinosaurs played music or something.
Pretty much.
So,
he taught him how.
I
He
got a
taught
guitar
dinosaurs
for
how.
Christmas
Did
in
he?
1970. 1970, got a guitar for Christmas, and then by about mid 70s, I was in junior high school bands. By the late 70s, I was still in high school, riding a bike and hiding it behind the dumpster at McGuffey's playing. Like 15, 16 years old, sneaking in the back door, watching
That's awesome.
big shows.
I love those stories. Jason, how about you?
I was not a particularly athletic or attractive young lad, so I decided that if I was ever going to have a girlfriend, I had to figure something out. And it turned out that I could sing okay. And but people don't like to just hear you randomly walk up and sing because that's kind of creepy. So I decided I'd learn to play guitar too.
Especially at ATMs.
Right. So, I had the Garth Brooks Double Live album in the late 90s when I was learning to play guitar. So Garth Brooks Double Live album and Metallica's Black album. And I learned them cover to cover vocally and how to play them on guitar. And that's pretty much where I came from. Then I ended up playing guitar in the marching band at my high school. That's a whole another story for another day. But, and then got into being on
Side
stage
piece.
and being in bands. So.
All right. Well, we're just going to kick it around the room here a little bit. Lay it on me there.
Oh,
What you got, Chris?
That's
Vince?
you, Chris.
You're up,
that's
Chris.
me. So, I was in school band, and then about 12 years old, I asked my dad for a drum set and ended up with a guitar because, has a volume control on it.
It's not a drum set.
So played around with that, did some high school bands with the guitar up until about 20. And then right after that, started a family, took a long time away from music and got back into it about 8-9 years ago. Just happened to stumble across Chris Hyder and his open mic at Applebee's in Wilmington Pike. Hooked up with some people there, started bringing my bass, playing there, and then stuck with Tony Peters and his open mic at W.O. Wright's. And
Boy, that's sad that went away.
Oh
No
man,
doubt.
Yeah.
What a drag that is.
Yeah.
need another gas station on that corner too.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
So for pretty solid for the last 7 years with just open mic, and then we kind of formed a house band there at WO's and
Find it on the website.
was doing that, and then hooked up with these guys.
You can find the videos of us on our Facebook page.
Well, you have to understand that's Glenn, and he's Amish. He doesn't have Facebook. Glenn has the YouTube, and he relies everything on YouTube, and that's his favorite statement to make on every band is he can't find your videos on YouTube. There's a reason for that.
Put one on
Glenn.
YouTube.
We'll
just
put
for
one
you.
on
Yes.
just at the end of the show.
There's a reason for that, Glenn. There is. It's like my YouTube. I had to go out and pay people on the street corner to like my YouTube channel. I think I've got 100 people now, so it's good. But okay, so you're talking about, and Alex, I want to get to you too. Tell me a little bit about you and how you started playing, and don't mention Ronnie Young at all. If you do, I'm going to mute you because he's our favorite drummer. No.
Well, that was the first drum kit I ever played was his, I think. It's in my recollection. But I grew up playing in my church band over in Kettering, Ohio.
Yeah, Gary.
And I think I was about 12 years old when I started really playing. I had a couple like junior drum kits when I was real young. But from what I recall, I think I was about 12 when I really got serious with the church band, and kind of gone the other way on that one at this point. But hey, still have fun with it.
A lot of people go from church to bars. They do. It's a real thing.
Right.
It is. So
I'm not
you
Catholic. That's the weird thing.
did you play in the high school? Did you play in the high school band?
No.
At all, drums or any of
played
that?
During high school, I played, but not in the high school band. No.
I tell you, some of the best drummers I know played like in the drum line in high school and all that,
Yeah.
and then into college and things. There's some killer drummers out there that have that on their resume. And
Right.
I love in the background watching this heavy equipment working behind you there. It's
Yeah.
One dude took a
It's
pass.
so
It
much
looked like
fun.
he was 1 foot from his door there a second ago.
yeah. Are you
I get
supposed to be
take a-
working,
take
Alex?
A break for a minute. talk to
He's
you
got one
guys.
of them government jobs.
He must be the supervisor. All right. All right, fellas, let's move into this. Musical influences. I always like to ask bands what artists have influenced you over the years, and you've been some of the people you like to listen to and such. So throw that out there if you have any.
Go ahead, Al.
Alex, you go first.
Led Zeppelin would be for me, guys. We all know that. I don't know. I mean, there's so many that have been so great over the years. Like Neil Peart from Rush was such a good drummer. Obviously, the name I shall not mention, my cousin.
You can
He was a
mention
big
him.
influence on me.
Ronnie Young.
I mean, like I said, from what I recall, his was like the first real serious drum kit I ever got to play when I was a kid. So, I mean, I from that point on, I was just kind of hooked.
Well, I will say I have mad respect for Ronnie Young, man, and his vocal ability and drumming ability as well. Mad Hatter is a killer band. They're just fantastic.
I love those guys.
So how about you guys up in the corner? In the corner up there, you guys. What do you got?
So Iron Maiden, except Judas Priest. I'd the heavy side for sure.
There's gonna be some of that.
Throwing horns. It's all right.
Ronnie James Dio, of course.
Yeah.
yeah, so that's really what influenced me and got me with the guitar. And then, you know, I somehow morphed into the bass over the years, and I just don't really remember how that happened, but still the same music.
All right. Well, hey guys, if you're out there watching, if you have a question for the band, throw it in there. We had a question a minute ago from Kara who asked, do you play Cincy or Dayton? You're basically a Dayton-based band, right?
Correct. We play mostly in Dayton.
Name some of the clubs you played around the area so Kara knows and some other people.
Well, we saw our best friend Tina on here a little bit ago. We just played O'Connor's last weekend in her amazing room. We are debuting at Little York Tavern this weekend. We've played at O'Leary's. We've played at 21 Barrels. We've played at Wings a few times.
Vandalia.
Courtyard.
Vandalia. We played at the Courtyard Lounge in Inglewood. We have, man, I'm drawing a blank. Good Time Charlie's down in Miamisburg.
Courthouse Square.
Yeah, Courthouse Square. So we're really kind of mid to North Dayton. The Brick Tap and Tavern in Huber we've played.
Because all of us are north of Dayton.
Yeah.
Riverside and north of there. So most of where we play, we'll get a little bit south of Dayton, but Cincinnati's a little far. Yeah,
Hank's local. We played there a couple times. So
Froggies.
right. Froggies up at the Buckeye Lake, not the
Buckeye
Monroe.
Lake.
Yeah.
All right. Gotcha. Not Froggies in Monroe.
No.
Boardwalk in Salina.
Yeah.
All right, Pete, I got to ask you, man, who's your musical influences?
My big one was Skinner. I mean, I locked onto that live album and learned every lick front to back, and I still know every song on that record and all the other ones too. And then ZZ Top, Billy Gibbons. I mean, that's the end of the show question would be Billy Gibbons. Absolutely. You know, if I had a chance to play with that guy, I've seen him probably 20 times.
All right, Jason, you got one?
You know,
or two?
This probably sounds awful, but it kind of is my mom. And the reason for that is not because she's a musician, but because she had this just massive record collection when I was growing up. And we used to just sit and listen to records. And, you know, we would sit there, and I remember, you know, and if she's watching, which she probably is, we used to use our thumbs as microphones and we would sing. And I mean, we listened to everything from Conway Twitty to Queen to Led Zeppelin to AC/DC to, you know, Prince to all those guys. And, you know, it really influenced me as a musician. I kind of had my little goth phase when I was in high school and started listening to stuff like Tool and Dream Theater and all those guys, which really kind of shaped me as a musician. But what really speaks to my heart is the 90s grunge, and I love myself some Soundgarden. So there you go.
There we have it. Well, now we have a background into you guys and why it is a, as you said, jambalaya of pot of music. Because you really are. You really do have a lot of different influences. And that, I think that's cool. It makes a great band when you have that many different musical influences in your life. So you played just for a year together, but you're all accomplished musicians, obviously. And I got to kill this, whatever that background is. Hang on. I think that one's Alex. Let me see. It is. So we'll let me say this here real quick. You all have come highly recommended, and obviously you've hit the ground running here because with less than 9 months, it takes a long time sometimes for a band to get established in the area. And you guys have come highly recommended, especially Tina, man. She is like your biggest fan, I think, from O'Connor's.
We love
and,
that.
I had some friends see you down at O'Leary's. They just said it. They had a blast there. That's a great little music room to go into because the crowd's fun there. And let's see what Toy's got to say. He's asking a question we were going to talk about at the end, but let me throw it in now. Yes, they are on the Book of Face, Toy, as we like to call it here. And he says he really wants to check you guys out. So let me go to that and let me pop that up on the screen so they have an opportunity to at least know a little bit about you guys and where to find you if I can get it here. How about right there? We'll throw that in the comments as well so everybody gets a chance to see. You can follow them on Facebook at Sidepiece937. So getting back to what I was saying, how did you develop this quick, I guess, for lack of a better term, fan base?
I think I go back to the statement I made earlier. We all love music. We just talked about we all have a wide variety, and you know, we don't really care what we're playing. We want to play for the audience, and we want to get them embracing it. And again, going back to what I said, I think that if the audience is really having a good time, I don't want to say it doesn't matter the songs that you play, but what it is they enjoy themselves enough that they want to keep coming and seeing you. And I mean, I've had so many people just come up and be like, "Oh my God, you guys are so much fun," or "Oh my God, you guys are just, I'm so entertained." And I'm so, it's just, we like to have a good time on stage. And I feel like because we don't take ourselves too seriously and we have a good time, it kind of permeates to the crowd. I mean, these guys were kind of giving me crap about it because we always have a set list when we go into a show, and we've never actually played that set list. I will change it on the fly on the stage. And
we made 4 songs once.
And, I'll be like, "Hey, let's play this song. I know it's not on the set. Let's do it. Why not?" So, I mean, it's really about us just jamming and having a good time. And I mean, I would say most of the gigs we've played, we have played for the first time ever a song. Like, well, we play, again, going back to Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin, we play that song. Alex is a huge Led Zeppelin fan, and so is his mom. And she requested it one time. She's like, "You guys don't play any Zeppelin. It makes me mad." So we're like, let's whatever. Who cares? Let's play a Led Zeppelin song. It's not like they're the greatest band of all time or whatever, but, we'll play a Led Zeppelin song. We played Rock and Roll, nailed it. And, it's been our promo video, and it's been on our list ever since. And I don't think we ever actually practiced it. I think it's just we've always played it on stage. So, we have a good time. If we mess up on stage, it is what it is. Everybody's there to have a good time, and hopefully they've had enough drinks to where they're not mad at us about it.
Makes them sing.
Right.
Well, and I love what you said a few minutes ago, and I didn't get a chance to really comment on it, but your mom having all the records and things, because I grew up that way too, with a lot of music as we traveled in the summer and listened to a lot of music and influenced by that heavily. And I think your parents set that tone back in the day for kind of the music you like and love. And then there was
like music.
Yeah. And there was a lot of things that they would say too that they didn't like you playing, because obviously every generation has that thing. Nobody liked the Beatles when they came out back in the day. The parents didn't, but the kids sure did. And it becomes popular and so on. So you guys have kind of become that same thing with the folks out there. Every time anybody comments on you guys playing, it's just like, wow, these guys are hitting the ground running. They're doing a great job. So it says a lot for what you put together here.
Thanks,
and
sir.
I'm glad to have you with us today for that.
Thanks,
Anybody?
I do want to mention that we've had a lot of pedigree in the city that's really helped us out. I mean, Weekend Effect has been helping us out. Ithaca, Mad Hatter. I mean, big name guys that we played for and we opened up for, and they loved us, and they've done a lot to help us get where we are too. So I don't want to say that it's all our talent, but those big names are helpful. So I want to make sure I mention those. They do have a gun to the back of my head right now.
They gave us every opportunity in this first 9 months.
Well, and that's awesome. And that's what's cool about the music community. I mean, there's a lot of people out there. There's your few individuals who don't support, and they're like in their own little island. But for the most part, if you go out and play a gig one night and you throw up on Facebook about, "Oh, my amp just quit. I need an amp quick." Somebody's going to bring you one. I mean, that's just the way it works.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
And
or have one in the car.
Right.
Yeah, Alex talking about playing Ronnie's kid and all that when he was younger and such. People give people opportunities, and that's outstanding. And I think some of the venue owners are giving you guys an opportunity after they've heard about you.
Right.
And
then if you check out our website, some of the places we're playing, you'll see we're going to pull in a couple of the younger bands than us and give them the same opportunity we were given.
Will somebody tell Pete that Facebook is not his website?
I've tried. He just doesn't.
All right.
That's not a website.
It's not really old. We don't have a website.
I still have MySpace.
We don't have a website. @SidePiece937. We don't have a website. I'm not paying for a domain name.
Well, I will. Yeah, your website would probably be named like www.IGotAGirlInTheSide.com or something.
Right, it wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
Nobody, we would get the wrong clientele for that website.
Hey, we got to give shout outs to all of our wives for being okay with us being in a band that says Side Piece.
It was like my friend Brandy from Strangelove. She would make that disclaimer: do not search for Strangelove on the internet because you want to say Strangelove band. It's a bad thing.
And Jason in my phone is Jason Side Piece Riverside.
Oh my. Let's see what Patricia has to say. Patricia says, great band. She's enjoyed you guys every time she's went out where you played this. Hope to see you play this weekend.
Thank you
Very good.
much.
Thanks, Pat.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Patricia. And also, Kara says, can't wait to see you. And she says, and play cow. Pick her to
for the
play
cowbell.
cowbell.
Heck yeah, we will.
You got to volunteer because I'll
you
get
go.
you.
Do you let a cowbell player in there? I'm in too. I'm coming
Oh,
in.
every
time.
single time we
Every
bring
show.
somebody up.
I'm going to Will
fun.
Ferrell that stuff, man. I'm pulling my shirt up and showing my gut. I am.
There you
Do
go.
it, man.
It'll be so much fun.
Put it on the Facebook page.
Yeah, you'll
every
be on
time.
the MySpace, that's for sure.
All right, so you're playing this weekend, Little York Tavern. I'm leaving MySpace alone. We talked about that yesterday. Yeah,
I'm really
showing our
sorry.
age, fellas. Let's talk about Little York Tavern this weekend.
All right.
Oh, yeah,
Somebody.
well, we're playing at 9 o'clock, 9 to 1.
9 o'clock.
Come on out. It's going to be a great time. We're debuting there, so we really kind of hope to get our crowd out. You know, I want to make sure that we represent well. So come on out. Thank you, Sarah. I hope to see you.
What day would that be?
All played Little York before in other projects, just
But-
not in this one.
No, I never.
It's Saturday
Oh,
night.
Chris has never played there.
Saturday.
But-
Thank you, Alex. All right, we got it. It's Saturday night, Little York Tavern, 9 to 1.
9 to 1.
9 to 1. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, fellas, we're going to wrap this up today with you, but I've got a last question I want to throw in there, if I can. And that is, if any of you guys could play with one, let's say, musical star, past or present, who would you play on stage with?
I would play with Prince. I mean, he's been just from the entertainer standpoint, from the music writing point, just an amazing artist and definitely somebody that I always thought was just somebody I wish I would have gotten to see, and I never did.
You know, I will say this. That is the number one so far of all the bands I've interviewed. Prince comes up almost every interview. It's amazing. Pete, how about you?
I'm gonna go Stevie Ray Vaughan. You know, him, Billy Gibbons, Stevie Ray Vaughan, the Skinner guys, you know, any of them guys, anytime I would just die to be on stage for one song with them, any of them, because they're just so good.
All right. I'll take it. I'll take
Right on.
Chris.
Neil Peart.
Wow. Okay. And
no,
Alex?
no explanation, just Neil Peart.
That's a
Neil
big
Peart.
time.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Try to
I
hang
think-
out with Neil Peart
I think
on the
try
bass.
and- just try and keep a rhythm with him. I mean,
Chris is the matter of fact guy over there. He is. He's the matter of fact guy. Yes.
Yeah.
Neil Peart. That is all. Alex, how about you?
Dude, I don't know. There's so many. Probably, honestly, you guys are gonna laugh at me, but I think Jimmy Buffett would be fun to play with.
I knew you were
He's
gonna
kind
say
of like
that.
he's got our
Buffett.
spirit, dude. He's always having a good time when he's playing, just like we do. You know what I mean? So I think that'd be entertaining.
You know, I want to meet Alex, man. I do. Alex
Well, when you
looks
come
like
to the show,
a
you'll learn what
fun
his favorite
guy.
drink is.
right.
Alex is a fun guy to have a beer with, I think. Absolutely. Well,
Usually.
fellas, I'm getting a little echo still again, but as we wrap this up today, I want to say first and foremost, thank you for being with us and giving us a little insight into your band. You guys do covers. We know that. And it's, as Pete put it, the, what did you say, Pete? It's the jambalaya.
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 Top hits, man.
Top 40 hits.
All right. The jambalaya of music, anything you want to hear, they're going to play it for you. So anything else you guys want to add to the people who are watching today?
Little York Tavern, Saturday night, 9 to 1.
Absolutely. And, you know, we want to thank you for having us on, Scott. I mean, obviously, we thank you for what you do for the community. I mean, you know,
Definitely.
we try and catch your shows as much as we can. You're perfect because you're right in my commute. So most of the time I'm paying attention to you instead of the road. But, you know,
Great. I'm responsible for accidents. All
No
right.
responsibility.
but, you know, what you do for the community is great. And I mean, I think that, you know,
Thanks, Shane.
we're happy to be here. So
Definitely. We appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Glenn. Glenn hopes to get to see you. And Daniel says, love the Mohawk from Weekend Effect. All right.
Damn, Brosh, we love that guy.
We love Daniel. Funny Daniel story. I'll tell you real quick. I went to a concert at the Rose. Can't even remember what it was. And I sit down and this guy comes in the row there and sits with me. And he looks at me and says, are you that Scott guy from all around town? And I said, yeah, it was Daniel. So we
Yep.
had a great time, man. It was great.
And Dan
So,
played in a band with me when he was 20, about 22. I think it was about 1999, and he was about 18 or 20. Voodoo.
Nice.
Voodoo.
That was a
Okay.
great
There
band.
you go.
Really fun.
Well, guys, thanks again. Alex, thank you for taking time off your job today.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
And I'm glad that your car did not get crushed by one of those pieces of heavy equipment while you were in it. That's
These
what I
guys-
was worried
these guys
about.
are pretty good. I trust them.
Are you sure? I worry about you there. All right. Remember, guys, you can follow Side Piece on Facebook at Side Piece 937. As Pete calls it, that's their website. So find it there on Facebook. You guys up in the corner, thank you so much, Chris, Jason, Pete. I appreciate you being here, guys. And
Thanks,
get
Scott.
out and see these guys play. Little York Tavern. Follow their page on Facebook and check them out. We'll be back with you tomorrow on the show. You guys will be there probably watching Who's Playing Out, where we feature the musicians and venues in the tri-state bringing you live local music. So, guys, thanks for tuning in today on Wednesday with the band. Stick with me, fellas, as we go off the air here, if you will. And I will catch up with all of you tomorrow at 5 o'clock. So check us out then, guys, if you will. We'll be back with you. I'm stalling to get my music up. There we
Everyone
go.
enjoys
Bye-bye,
getting
everybody.
out of town for some live music. And there's nothing like going backstage and down the hall for a VIP pass to the inside information and interviews with the bands, singers, and songwriters that you enjoy. Welcome to All Around Town Radio.
Working for the weekend, and I wanna see a show. I flip on the book of face. Yeah,